Hi everyone, welcome to Becky's Crafts and Goodies. Today I'm going to show you how to make a centrepiece for your Christmas dining table. Now this can go on your table whenever you put your Christmas decorations up, so you can get a good few weeks or however long you have them up use out of it. Now this idea can also be adapted and used for a garland, and I'm actually using the base is a garland piece here, but what I've done is I've actually cut it shorter. Now you can have this any length you want. You can make it, you know, a foot long, you can make it 2 foot long, you can do it the whole 6, you can do whatever suits your table. Now I've snipped this off around about the length I want. I'm not sure how big this is, but I've just literally eyeballed it, snipped a bit off. We're going to decorate this. Now if you want to use this same idea and use a garland, just don't cut it off. Buy yourself a piece of plain garland like this, green garland, and don't snip any bits off. Just do exactly the same all the way along. Now it would also be nice if you had some lights. You could put some lights on this. Now in Poundland they sell some of the little battery operated lights. They've got all sorts of different types in there, and you get the little battery pack with them, so you can just hide them. You don't have to have them near a plug socket. So that would be quite quite useful to use. So what I've done to start with, obviously cut it to size, and I've started to sort of primp the bits up here just to make it look sort of a bit fuller. And obviously that's the same thing that you do with your Christmas tree when you're doing that as well. So we may have to flatten some of these leaves when we start putting them down, but it's just sort of to get an idea. Right, so we're going to start and put the flowers on. Now the flowers that I'm using I bought from the shop in Wales, most of them I think. They do lots of them in Poundland as well. I'm just going to show some that Poundland do. So if you don't, obviously you can't get these other ones. You can get these poinsettias from Poundland. You get 3 in there. You get some bows. You can get all sorts of things. So keep an eye out in local shops to you, or you can also Google it, look on eBay and that sort of thing. So to start with, I'm going to use 2 of these poinsettia heads. Now these are quite large, and I'm just going to pull the head off. Sounds a bit brutal, but I'm just going to pull the head off and just neaten them up, because sometimes when they've been in a bag or they've been stored, they just need kind of fluffing up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is get my hot glue, and I should be popping 2 on. I'm going to put one this side and I'm going to put one the other side. So as I said, you might need to just move the leaves a little bit, or the branches should I say, just to enable you to do it. Now you might need quite a bit of glue when doing this, and be very careful because we know what happens. So just do that, glue that into place where you want it. Now if you wanted to do like a rough kind of retting up first and don't stick them on, that's pretty cool. Now I've worked out where I want to put mine, so that's why I'm gluing mine straight on. But if you want to just lay them on before you glue them down, that would be a really good idea, I think, because it's very hard to move them once you've glued them on. So I'm just going to primp out this one as well. These are beautiful. I really, really like these flowers. They're so nice. Okay, so I'm going to get my glue gun and splodge some glue on. Now I'm going to pour my glue stick tub in here because I'm going to need quite a lot, so I'll be reloading very regularly, I would imagine. If we can get through Christmas crafting without me burning myself, we are winners. Right, there we go. So that is in there. So I know you can't see the full length, but I will sort of show you it as we go through. Now it is really, really easy. It's just knowing what to do and what to use. Now I'm going to show you how I made one of these little bows, because we're going to put that in the centre there. So I'm going to show you how I made those. Let me just move that glue gun out of the way. Now I have some festive ribbon. I had this, I think I got this last year. I can't remember where it came from, but if I show you the packet there, you might be able to get something similar. So we've got some wired edged Christmas ribbon. You get 10 yards, which is 9.1 metres on here, and the gold goes really, really nicely with red. So I'm just going to push that up there a little bit just to show you. Now when you're doing this, what you're best to do is to throw this on the floor, or to throw it somewhere, because you get yourself in a little bit of a pickle, because you can always wind it up at the end. You need yourself some scissors and you need yourself some wire. Poundland did this last year and I'm sure they'll do it again. If not, you can get it from Amazon. So you get your ribbon, as long as it's wired. And you start off by having a little extra bit there, so you've got about that much down. You can make these any size you want. So what we're going to do to start with is we're going to loop over, we're going to leave an extra bit there, and we're going to hold it with our finger there, and then pull it up, holding it again and again, and just do that so you've got 6 loops. Just feeding it through. Take your time, you'll get quicker at it. Again, got the tripod right next to where I want to be. So what have we got there? 5. Just go one more. It's good when you get a roll where you've got loads of meters on one, because you don't feel that you've got to be scrimpy and savey on it. So once you've done that, I'm going to trim off the other side, so it's around about the same length as the other one, and we'll pick that up in a second. So you've got that. Now I need some wire. I'm going to take quite a bit of wire off. It doesn't matter if you get too much, best to have too much than not enough. Snip that off, and then you'll get your wire, and you want one side that's longer than the other because one of them you're going to wrap round. So what we're going to do is to get that part there, and we're going to scrunch it together. You want to leave a little bit at the bottom so you can gather it with your wire, and it is a bit fiddly but you do get the hang of it. So you've got your shorter bit there, and then you pull it quite tight, as tight as you can, and wrap the longer bit around like that, and this is securing it. Now this wire, not only does it secure the bow, but you can also use it to tie your little bow onto your garland as well. Now my mum will put this probably in a conservatory or somewhere like that. You can put them on your dinner tables. As I said, you could even put these maybe around doors. If you've got a door that you could, like a door frame, if you've got quite a big one, you could do that. Along the top of mirrors, picture frames, you've got quite a chunky one. So the list really is endless. So once we're at that stage and we know that we're quite secure around the bottom, we're going to fluff out these sections, and to do that we kind of go back and forward like that, and because it's wired ribbon it will stand up quite nicely. Pull them like that, and this is why you do 6, because it makes for a fuller bow. I love this gold ribbon, it's so pretty. Okay, so you do that, and then we need to sort these bottom bits out here. So you just fold it over, and we're going to do the little cut. So you cut at a point. It's much easier to do if you folded it over, and it gives you that effect there. And make sure you get them the same size. And then that little bit at the bottom you won't see. So work out which way you're going to have your front and your back. So that's going to be how it's going to stick on. So you just need to pull your bits forward, and it will let you move it about because you've got the wire, and it will generally stay where you put it. And when it's on, you can always sort of primp it up and flash it about a bit. Okay, so this is going to go in the middle. I think it needs something quite large in the middle, like a bit of a centrepiece. So let's just, the only thing is when you're doing these sorts of things, you get glitter everywhere. So I'll pull that down a bit so you can see. And the wire that we've got there, we're going to use that to help us tie this on. So I'm just going to go under, a few twists round, and then we'll primp it so it looks all nice when we've done. You can put some hot glue on if you want, but I don't think you need it if you've got the wire. So just make it nice and neat, keeping your little tails on the bow nice and neat at the bottom. And that is that part, and I think that looks really, really cute so far. I like the larger ones sort of quite big in the middle. Now you could, if you wanted to, space them out a little bit, but I kind of wanted that effect on this. Now if you had more of these, you could, if you wanted to, do another bow there and then go again, so you can have like a big long kind of trail of it. That would be quite nice. But what I'm going to use are these flowers that I bought from Wales, and I'm just going to pull the heads off a few, and we'll stick some of those on. Now when you're doing flower arrangements and things like this, florists often work in odd numbers, and that's always something to bear in mind. Now, what we're going to do next, we've got our little flowers ready. We're going to make another type of bow, because the bow's such a big statement in the middle. I think you need some gold either end as well. All right, so I'm going to use the same ribbon, and I'm going to show you how to make this bow. It is really, really simple. I'm going to fasten it, if I just move that along a bit, on the end. And I think once you've got it on the end here, it kind of makes it blends it all in, and it doesn't make the middle look so sort of massive. Now if you want to, with these bows, once you know how to make them, you can put these on any Christmas decor. So you can put these on your tree if you want. They don't have to just be on, you know, garland or anything like that. So you just tie that round and then put it on like that, and I think that looks so cute. I'm going to show you how to make those now. They're really, honestly, they are so easy once you've got your ribbon. Now I'm going to use the same ribbon again. You just pick that up off the floor. And I didn't measure it, that was the thing. I didn't measure it out, but I want to sort of make this bow around about the same. So I'm going to cut off a length here. Move that over to one side. And you also need a little bit for the middle. I've made these on the channel before, you've probably seen me do them. Honestly, they're really easy. So you get your bit of ribbon like that, and it naturally wants to bend anyway. And all you do is you fold it over as though it's sort of like a neck, like that. And then you pull the top part in. I'm just looking at the other one to try and get it the same size. And then once you've done that, you scrunch the middle together, and you can see that it's starting to take the bow shape already. And then you need some wire. Probably should cut this before I start doing the bow, but I always forget. So we'll hold it with my hand, cut some wire off, and then what we're going to do again is use a smaller side on the back, so that's the back part there, and we're going to wrap the wire around the middle. So try and get it as central as you can. Don't worry about the longer bits at the bottom. We will cut them to size. So wrap it round, go around a few times. I really have got to get an overhead kind of stand so I can film over the top, because this tripod is such in my way. So we do that, and then at the back here I'm going to twist it, and this will just hold it in place like that. Make sure you've secured it enough, because it'll be a pain if it comes undone. Then cut the wire so it's the same length, if you've got one bit still longer than the other. And then we will sort the middle section out. Now at the bottom here we've got some extra, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece off the bottom, and then I'm going to cut that piece in half. And then with that piece I'm going to reach over and get my glue gun. Now be dead careful. And I'm going to glue it down the side. I'm going to do it on the table. I'm gluing down the side, and then I'm just literally folding it over. I will show you in 1 second. Right, so I've folded it over like that. That's all I've done. Now with then that piece, we're going to use that as the middle part. So if you open out your wire like that, I'm going to use that to go around the middle. This flat bit will be puffed out, it'll be absolutely fine. I'm going to use that to go around. So if you fold it over, make sure your wire's separated, because you need those. This middle bit's too long, but I'd rather have it too long. get yourself some glue, stick that down like that, just hold it in place for a second, and then the extra bits we're going to snip off and then stick that bit down there. So any kind of wired ribbon, you can do this bow effect. So this doesn't have to just be for Christmas, you can make these at any point. So then you just print that up. We're going to cut the bottom. I'm just keeping my eye on the size of the other one. They're not going to be exact, but I think that that's, you know, sometimes that's nice, isn't it? So just do the bottom at an angle, fold it over, and that gives you the nice ribbon look. We'll get rid of these bits, and then you open it out, and once you straighten all these little bits and pieces out, you've got an absolutely beautiful bow that really took us completely no time at all to make. So we're going to stick that, or wire that should I say, onto the other end, so we've got them matching either side. And then I don't think it matters that you've got your big flowers in the middle, because the big flowers are obviously more expensive. So if you can do it a little bit cheaper by using ribbon and sort of, because they make quite big decorations, so it fills up quite a big space, which is quite good. And incidentally, Poundland have got some really cool Garland ties. I'm going to show you those in a second, and I bought some because they're going to, I think, be quite handy with our wreath making. So as with your tree decorations, you put them on, fasten them on, and then you can sort of primp them up after you've done it. So that's the look we've got at the moment, and I think it looks just nice like that. But you know, if you've got some lights and you've got little lights, little twinkly lights in between that is going to look really, really pretty, isn't it? So now we're going to stick on some of these flowers, and we're just going to put the odd few around about, you know, we won't need many, but I think just a few. See, you've got a little gap there. So if I can put a bit of my glue on there, and because you've got gold on these flowers, that matches it in, you see, so that's fine. Around the back here, and again, if you're unsure of where to put them, then just try them out first before you stick them down. But because the wires are bendy, you can generally move them about anyway. So I'm going to put a few more of these on, but I want to just show you Garland ties. So they've got these in Poundland at the moment, so you get 10 in a pack, but they're like a wire, and they will be ideal for fastening things on. So there's quite a few bits at Poundland you can use for this, and you can also put some of these pine cones on, and these came from Poundland as well, just that's the header. So I think they would look kind of cute, wouldn't they? Sort of dotting a few in and out there. So I'm going to put the rest of them on, and then I'll show you when it's finished. Right, so it's all finished. I'm really pleased with it, but I just want to give you another tip, another little idea. You can get this, I think you can buy this from Home Bargains. I'm not sure if it's just the silver one though, but you can get this stuff, and if you cut down the edge of it, you can make like thin strips, and that's all I've done here just to show you. So if you wanted to add something extra, you could maybe drape some of this down, because it's obviously gold on one side and it would match. You could put it in and sort of bend it down, glue it, and kind of put it through like that. I'm not going to put any of that on, but just to give you an idea that you could also do that as well as the lights, if that was something you wanted to do. But I am super pleased with it. I think it's turned out really nice, and I also don't think you're going to miss not having lights on it. I think it looks really cute just as it is. And obviously with the table, if you do it on your Christmas table, you can get all your little accessories and stuff to match with the red and the gold as well, so it all teams in and looks nice. And don't forget, you can also use the same technique for a garland as well. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I've really enjoyed making this. I've got loads of different wreaths and things that I'm going to be making for you, and that's it. So you take care of yourself, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care. Bye for now.